Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Trading Room. I'm Shane Vernier. It's the Labor Day special. It's a little bit different live stream than we usually do today. I'm going to take all the questions, any type of market you want to look at. I've got a list of markets that we need to hit. We're going to go through a few of the Forex action, a few of the crypto action, but essentially what we're talking about is the market closure. So I love Labor Day. I mean, that's one of my biggest holidays probably is Labor Day weekend. And I decided today that I was going to work and we're gonna have a live stream. We're gonna do some content today because it's very important that we understand, really what the markets are. And the thing about the markets is, yeah, they're closed. Forex is kind of open. Crypto is kind of open, but most folks are having Labor Day weekend here in the United States. So I got the cowboy hat out here. I'm in Dillon, Montana. It's probably Montana's biggest weekend. It's one of those things that unless you've experienced it, I mean, we had a parade earlier today. That's one of the reasons why I had to bump the live stream up about an hour was I forgot about the parade. Completely forgot about the parade. So we're going cowboy hat. We're going parades. We're talking about the week ahead and all the big levels that we need to be looking at. Euro Australian dollar is going to be really coming up next. But what we're talking about for a day like today is stay out of trouble, and it's a lot of different things go into that. It's one of those deals where you don't want to risk money today. Today's not the day to risk money, and the reason why you don't risk money today is because there's no liquidity. I mean, the U.S. markets are closed. Let's get right out to price action, but you can see the U.S. markets are closed, and also the Forex. I mean, the dollar's done basically nothing, and the Forex is just sort of chopping sideways. You can see we're in the green by a bunch there, but those are accumulation trades. That means that, oh boy, it's a long story, but what I'm saying is this. You never sell a dead market, ever. These markets are dead. You don't have many sellers in there. You got a few folks that are showing up to buy. But the week ahead, what we've got coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, NFP Friday, are you kidding me? NFP Live, that's the headliner this week. And when we start talking about exactly what we have to do to be successful as a trader, half of it's waiting. I mean, I got out the cowboy hat and the starch shirt. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good here on a Labor Day, but today's not the day to trade. And I talked a little bit about it on Friday. I talked to several traders in the How to Trade community on Friday about what they need to do to be successful, and being able to actually wait is probably the biggest thing. That's going to be your biggest discipline. It's one of those deals that you can either do it or you can't. And if you can't do it, you're in big trouble. You've got to be able to wait. So I want to welcome everybody back to the room. That was sort of a little Monday psychology session, but it is a holiday here in the United States and a big one at that. Let's see, Brea Anderson Bradley. Good to see you, Brea. Always a pleasure. Let me see Dimitri. Hi, Moldova in the house. Dillon, Montana. I went to the rodeo yesterday. Got a sunburn. Went to Clint Black concert last night. It was absolutely fantastic. We had a lot of fun, a lot of friends in town, a lot of friends, family. It really was an absolutely great time. So, yeah, I'm sorry the stream's about an hour late. You can see I still have wristbands on. You had to have wristbands to get into the rodeo, but good to see you, Dimitri. Greg Goforth, Boomer Sooner. I'll tell you what, the biggest surprise probably was the Texas Longhorns laying an egg up there in Ohio State. That was a big one. I didn't have that. I thought Texas was going to win with Arch Manning. They didn't win. Yes, sir. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Always a pleasure, guys. Samson, hey, everyone. Lovely day. Absolutely right. It's a great day. It's a great day. It's a great day to be in the markets. It's a great day to save your money. Save your money. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. We're going to make money tomorrow. Today, if you made money, God bless you, but this is a challenge today. Absolutely a challenge. Yes, sir. Hey, new month. My yen seems so flat. I have no idea what to do with it. I would get completely away from the yen. I would get completely away from the Japanese yen. No question about it. It's too flat. It's sideways. That is the definition of rotational trade. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do any of it. Let me see. Small Yeezy. Hello, everyone. Good to see you, Small. Let's see. How's everybody doing? Tina Jing. Fantastic, Tina. Good to see you. I haven't got back to my messages just yet. I'm going to do that right after the live stream. But today's a big day. We're going to have the newsletter coming out tomorrow morning for all the Switch Markets clients. That's going to be big. We're going to be building that out. I got to see a little bit more price action before I do any work on that, though. We've got to really see. I'm going to wait for that next Forex Open. I'm going to wait for the Tuesday Forex Open. I also want to see the futures open. If I write it right now and build you guys a big newsletter and a beautiful newsletter with picks of the week and everything, we don't really know what's going to happen just yet. I want to see the futures open at 4 o'clock today, my time. So you're going to see a Samson. Anyone notice the range-bound price action with the Euro USD Samson? It's dead. I mean, everybody in the United States, the liquidity providers are out of the office. That's for sure. So, yeah, you don't want to be trading today. in my opinion. Tina's young. An hour and a half waiting for you. I'm sorry, Tina. My apologies. I did have to bump it. What we had here was we had a parade that I forgot about. And I forgot in Dillon, Montana. We got the cowboy hats and everything. It's Montana's biggest weekend, but it was a major parade, like a big one. And I forgot. I completely spaced it. And what happened was family and friends are out there watching the parade, and they're going, Shane. And I'm like, well, God, I got to go. I can't go live. I had to go watch the parade. Threw candy out to the little kids, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm sorry. X-Light, howdy, Coach? Good to see you, X-Light. Always a pleasure, Samson. Anyone noticed? Yeah. Gotcha. Hey, Shane Lewis, good to see you, Lewis. X-Light looking great. I don't know. I look like a Westerner. I look like a Montanan. No, the hat's nice. It is. The hat's wasn't cheap. But what I will say is this, guys, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what your walk of life is or where you're from or how you dress, if you got one of these great big things or if you don't, you can still trade. You can absolutely 100% still trade. And that's what these live streams are about. That's what it's all about. And today, a day like today, honestly, I'm hoping you guys start popping some questions in there or something. I mean, I have some things we need to go over, but I feel like a lot of times I just get on a rant and I go through the news events and I do all that stuff, and it doesn't really service you as a trader. Today's a great day to ask me anything you want to ask me. And if you have a market you want to look at, if you have anything you want to look at, we can certainly do that. But as far as I'm concerned, I see a few pairs that are sort of jumping off the table at me. And, the first one's going to be the Euro Aussie. We're going to go ahead and dive into that in just a second. But interesting news cycle over the weekend. I don't really know what exactly to make of it. There was a lot of rumors that Trump had passed. A lot of rumors. Crazy news cycle on a Labor Day. Absolutely right. Let me see. You look natural, cowboy. I'm not much of a cowboy, though. I'm really not. I mean, I love the Cowboys. My dad used to ride, though. He actually was a real cowboy. My granddad was a real cowboy. Those guys were cowboys, but I've never ridden, so. Let me see, Tina. Sounds like you had a fantastic time. No worry. That hat is big. That hat is big. It's a big hat. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and go with it. You're gonna go ride the bull with the gold? Man, I watched bull riding yesterday, and I can't believe what these young kids do. Absolutely can't believe what they do. All right, let's go ahead and get out to price action here. Euro Australian dollar. This is probably the first pair that a lot of folks are interested in right now. The Euro Aussie, at least on a monthly chart, you can see we're in absolute compression. We're in absolute compression. So we've got the big run, and then we're moving sideways here. What we're looking for here is a pullback. So what you want to do here is work from that low right there to that high, and you can see exactly how compressed the market is. Let's bring that down just a hair. There you go. So right in that zone, I would say right around 177, somewhere in there. That area right there is absolutely fantastic downside support. So right now we're trading about 178.66. We're looking at about 177. So we're a ways down the queue. But we have an opportunity potentially to grab that bid. So if we have an opportunity to grab that bid, that's going to be a great bid later in the week. Now, you say, Shane, I want to trade right now today. Show me a 4-minute chart. Show me a 3-minute chart. And I go, nobody trades 4-minute and 3-minute charts. You trade 1, 5s, and 30s typically. I like that 15-minute orb too. That's a pretty good duration as well. A lot of folks really love the 15-minute chart. I'm not one of them. I like that 15-minute orb, but 1s, 5s, and 30s for me and 4-hour chart. I got to tell you, I mean, it's the number one question that we get across all of our YouTube channels, on all the live streams, all of it. Shane, what time frame? 4-hour chart. For Forex, 4-hour chart. Think about it. In any case, let's go right down to the Euro Australian dollar 4-hour chart. Do we get a pullback? Don't we get a pullback? You got nothing. You got a big sell-off there. Definitely in a downtrend, but nothing's happening right now. So I would be very, very careful. I would absolutely love the opportunity to bid that this week. 176.96, probably 177-ish, 177.09. I can't tell you exactly where to get into the market, but you always want to shade these levels at least. Well, that's delicate. I mean, I seriously could talk all day long about how to shade these levels, but what you need to do is probably looking at 09 right there. If you wanted to buy like 15s, 177 15s, I wouldn't blame you. I would even sort of sign off on 177.25. The problem is you're not going to know if you're right or not unless price really bases out right above 177 and then rebounds. But it's got to trade in a real tight pattern between 177.25 and 177. I don't like it. I would just go ahead and wait for 177.09 if I get an opportunity at that. We're going guns up. We're going guns up. Hats and all. Thanks for everybody for joining me for this Labor Day stream, though. A lot of fun. U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. We had a lot of problems with the yen. I mean, let's be brutally honest here. We had a situation where nothing's happening. And, you know, what Yes Sir was just saying, he says, hey, listen, this is not going to work for us. This is going sideways. I cannot get my yen to move. And if you guys remember all these lines, all these crazy lines I actually drew on the charts last week, it's one of those things where, you know, the market has to move. Now, I got asked a lot of questions because we had a tremendous number of viewers last week that were looking at the 920 EMA and what we're trying to do in the trading room with the 920 EMA. And there's a lot of different ways to trade a crossover strategy. And I will tell you for a fact that when you get into a flat market and you're trying to trade crossovers, your goose is cooked. You don't want to do that. You don't want to play that game. When you start playing that game, you get desperate because nothing's happening. And when you take a good look at this market right here, I mean, it's not an accident that, you know, Yes Sir is on the other side of the world from me, and we both see the same chart. Nothing is happening. And when nothing happens, you've got to get out. You can't sit around trying to pick a direction. Anybody right now trying to pick a direction in the dollar yen is either trying to just be a tout, like on YouTube, or they're trying to be a tout on CNBC, and they're saying, hey, listen, I like it long, I like it short. Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways to handicap the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. We could go long. We could go long and bet the dollar is going to rebound off its current lows. The problem is the fundamentals don't point to that. The fundamentals say you're going to get rate cuts and you're going to see the U.S. dollar actually go down. From here, you're going to see the U.S. dollar, the DXY is going to be at COVID lows. The initial throes of COVID, when everybody didn't know what to do and the U.S. dollar plunged and then it spiked, you're going to see it right down there trading at those lows because that's sort of the new world that we're in. We're going to inflate away our debt problems. We're going to go ahead and we're going to say, hey, listen, we're going to print so much money that it's not going to matter. Well, I don't think it'll work. If there's any of you that are watching from Japan, Tokyo, Seoul's in South Korea, but Tokyo definitely. Oh man, there was another town up north of Japan that looks absolutely beautiful. But in any case, if you're in that region of the world, it's no knock on your economic policy or the culture or anything. It's just the way that certain governments want to do business. And right now, the United States of America looks like it wants to go down the dirty float path, which is we're going to inflate our way out of debt. We're going to make sure that our exports are hyper competitive around the world. And we're going to draw in that foreign direct investiture. Those are the three prongs of Abenomics. And right now, when you're looking at the dollar yen, I know this is a long way to go, but just go with me on this. When you look at the dollar yen, the path is unclear. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in any of these markets, but we have a pretty gosh darn good idea about what's going to happen with U.S. oil in the next 3 months. I can already tell you that. 65 is the top. You're going down from here. Okay. Dollar yen, a lot different. It's a lot different because the yen, you're going to start to see the Bank of Japan is going to cut interest rates. They want to get back to a negative deposit rate as fast as they possibly can, and that's fantastic because that's the crux of the economy. Foreign direct investiture, hyper competitive exports. That's what it's all about. So what is, sort of the state of U.S. monetary policy done to the yen over the last, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 15, 20 days, 20 trading days? It's an absolute flat line. So if you're going to trade this pair, number one, don't trade it. I mean, I can't speak so definitively. When I start saying don't, yes, no, don't, you can't do that. Because that makes me a financial advisor, and we're not advisors here. We just try to help. This type of situation here, though, is very easy for me. What do? Boom. Boom. 38%. You guys think that's an accident? 146.75. You're probably holding longs right now. You're probably holding longs. But look where you're at. You've got your 9 EMA, you've got your 20 EMA on a monthly chart. This is called non-committal trade. You don't want to do this. You want to stay out of that, yes, sir. I know you want to trade yen, and I know you want to kick some tail and make a bunch of money, but you can't do it in this pair right now. You got to wait. Personally, what I would love to see is a move. We've got to see a move. Listen, there's an old saying that if it has a pulse, we can kill it. If it bleeds, we can kill it. That's great. But if it doesn't have a pulse and the market's not moving, we have no opportunity to do anything. And if we don't have an opportunity to do anything, then we're kind of out to lunch. So we've got to make sure that we're very, very smart with what we do with our money. Today, if you guys are in there trading today, I mean, I'm pulling for you, but I didn't even consider trading today. Didn't even consider it. All right, Euro USD. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. As far as what we think about the Euro USD long term, you can see right here the monthly. I mean, these 920s right there was a buy. That was a loser. There was a sell. That was a loser. Did we just get in on the big runner? And that's really what crossover trading is all about, staying in there until you get paid. All right. Well, let's go ahead and go down to a daily, and you'll see just how miserable the trading's been for the Euro USD lately. It's not good. Looks a lot like that yen. I mean, this right here was interesting. Boom, pullback, and then we just sort of trickled higher. Right there's your bid. You got a nice bid there. This sell right here on the 920, fantastic trade. I mean, you should have at least got a 1-to-1 out of that. If you didn't take the money down there, I don't know what to tell you. But right up there, there's the bid. Bid's somewhere right around 116.75, and right now we're at 117. So the game really is being played at 117 for the Euro US dollar. Of course, buyers and sellers always collide at those big round numbers, those key levels. As far as what we can expect from here, I don't really know. I mean, you know, and you're hearing a lot of that out of me today. I don't really know. I don't know because nobody knows. Right now, we're in a state of flux. And when you start to talk about going into a Fed meeting where nobody really knows what's going to happen, I mean, we've got an 88% chance that we're going to get a rate cut. But is the 25 basis point rate cut really going to be enough? We don't know. Personally, I think that they're not going to cut interest rates. I would take the 10-to-1 bet that they're not going to cut them. But I would also say that even if they do cut them, you're going to see a real hawkish stance taken by the United States Federal Reserve. Jay Powell will be hawkish in that meeting. There's no question about it. And what hawkish is just holding rates steady. They don't need to cut them. They don't need to raise them. They're going to hold them steady. He's going to say, we're in a pretty good place. We're going to do X, Y, Z, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, well, that's not going to be enough for the markets. That's not going to be enough for the markets. We're going to see a major correction in the U.S. dollar, probably coming right around that Fed meeting. They're going to cut interest rates, and everybody's going to bet against the dollar. You probably shouldn't do that. You probably should bet against the dollar right now if you're going to do it. But I'm not an advisor. I can't tell you what to do. But something like this, beautiful, beautiful market structure. I mean, look at the market structure. Okay, you got a doji. You got a doji in January. Okay, and then the dollar just starts hemorrhaging. That's fantastic. What do? You take the yearly Fibonacci's, and there's your bid. Do you get that? Not a chance. The ranges of these monthly ranges are significant. First day of September today, these ranges are significant, but how do you trade when you're up, you're down, you're up, and then we're like, we don't want to do anything today. Let's go to a daily. The daily will be even more miserable. Watch. It's just not good. Shane, I got to have a trade. Tell me what to trade. Tell me what Euro USD. Give me a level on the Euro USD. I'd say, all right, fine. You twisted my arm. Spike low, spike high. Pull back right there. 116.75-ish. It's a pretty good scalp. Be looking at 25 to 30 pips there. As far as do you want to take a position and say, Shane says the Euro USD is going up? No. You don't want to take that position. You've got to be very, very careful with what you do, especially, listen, this week, business is going to pick up dramatically tomorrow. As a matter of fact, it's going to pick up in about 4 hours when the market opens, when the futures kick on. You're going to see some action. You're going to see some action in the indices, and you're also going to see some action in the commodities. But this week, it's going to be good. There's going to be some trades. There's going to be a lot more action than we've seen. Next week is when everybody will be back. Now, a lot of folks took this entire week off. God bless them. They have that ability. But you got to realize that this is a marathon. It's not a race. Or excuse me, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And these folks understand that I'm talking about big institutional capital now. They understand that they can make more money in just a few days when things are right. And I've really been trying to stress this like over the last 4 years that I've been here doing these live streams. I mean, seriously, thousands of live streams by now. Wow, that is a lot of time. The biggest thing I've tried to stress to traders is be patient, wait. I mean, I catch a lot of flack because I put out macro levels. I put out support and resistance levels that are macro in nature. They aren't trade right now. And everybody wants to be bullish or bearish. What are you going to do? Bullish or bearish, bullish or bearish. And I go, well, it's not really about that. It's about understanding that when the market comes to you, take what they're going to give you. And nobody has really the discipline to do that. I've struggled with discipline over the years. But after a while, you sit here and you say, I'm going to wait. There's an old saying. I can't remember who said it. I don't think it was Stanley Druckenmiller, but it was really one of the greatest traders of all time. I don't really know. I don't remember, but the saying is beautiful. And he says, I don't trade. I wait until they leave money over in the corner, and then I walk over and I pick it up. And that's how you guys need to think about trading. Nobody's really excited about that level I just put out. You're not going to get 1 million views on YouTube for saying 116.74. You're not. Is it worth waiting for? Absolutely. Would I love to get it today? Yes. What happens tomorrow? Probably gets tested. You got to wait. They pay us to wait. They don't pay us to trade. They pay us to wait. They don't pay us to trade. All right, guys, let's go ahead and I got just absolutely way behind on the live chat. So let's go ahead and have a look. Like I said, it's a holiday here in the United States. Let me see, Golem. Let's see, Small Yeezy. What an interesting family you have. Yeah, there's something. There's something. Family and friends. No, a lot of good friends. Haven't seen the friends in a long time, guys. We sort of we nail it down to our life, what we do, and you sit in front of these screens and you trade. You don't see family and friends, and this was a good weekend to see family and friends. That's for sure. All right, let's see. I love it. Good for you, Golem. Tell us about the gold chart. Yeah, I'm going to pull gold next, Golem. I'm sorry I got way behind on that, but I definitely will pull gold. That's how you blow an account, by jumping in a trade without any proper trends. Yeah, you got to really watch it. I have a feeling the market will be quiet until NFP. Yes, sir. I don't think anything's going to happen really until tomorrow. We'll see a move tomorrow, though. Too many rumors about Trump right now. A lot going on. There's going to be a move tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow's still the day. I would much rather, if I was going to trade 10,000, I would trade it tomorrow. I wouldn't trade it today. Let's see. You're right, Small Yeezy. Only if we see some trends. If you're trying to make a living trading that dollar yen, oof. Find a different game. Find a different program. All right, guys, let's go ahead and kick it out to the gold chart. I want to go ahead and stick with that 920 sort of motif. This is the Euro USD. I like that pullback zone, though. The more I looked at it, the more I like it. Let's go ahead and go to the XAU USD, though. This is the gold. We talked a lot about 3,500. And what happened today was we went to 34.89.89, and you can see that the sellers are there protecting it. They are protecting the 3,500 threshold. There's no question about it. There's no question anymore. We talked about this break coming for a long, long time. We talked about 3,500 being the biggest number in the gold market. There's no question. There's no question about it. So you're up there at 3,500. What are you going to do? Well, we saw sellers step in really big at 89. Okay. I would say that 94s, 34.94s, probably a pretty good sell. 34.97s, probably a pretty good sell. Do we want to buy? Not yet. Not yet. No, we got to wait for a decent pullback here, which isn't a bad one, Bruin. I'm going to go ahead and throw some Fibonacci's up here, but you can see that your gold buy on the daily, 33.71, you're doing very, very well if you took that gold buy on the daily. Let's go to a 4-hour chart. 33.73, boom shakalaka. I mean, that thing is trending very, very high, very, very fast. And I don't know, the 920 is really growing on me. Let's go ahead and go back to that daily chart, though. I want to go ahead and point out a Fibonacci level that we probably need to realize. You'll notice the red levels are just key zones that I outlined. This was the stop loss, essentially, for the 4-hour trade. I do believe, or a 30-minute trade. I don't recall. We did it last Friday, but it was right in here. 34.75, 35. You guys know the key numbers. I mean, it's relatively straightforward. It's easy. What do you want to do now? When we break over 35, we want to be buying, and we want to be recklessly buying. We don't just want to buy a little bit. We want to buy a lot of it. Well, if we can get a pullback right here from right around 34.37, maybe 34.40, I think you have an opportunity there maybe to put a few points on the board. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a no-fly zone, at least until tomorrow's open, which is going to happen about 4 hours from now. I want to see the futures market open. Today was an early halt, I believe, on the futures. I want to see the futures market open with gold, December gold futures. That's what I want to see before jumping into any of this spot stuff. So let's go ahead and pull out, 4-hour chart. You can see your 4-hour. I mean, guys, you can be as aggressive as you want. You can trade really anytime you want, but I would steer clear of all this. Spike low, spike high. You can see we're bullish. We pulled right back to 38%. Now we're grinding higher. I mean, I'd stay out of it. You sell from right in front of 35, 34.94s, 34.97s, but you don't just buy this thing just to buy it. That's a bad idea. You get a terrible trade location. We're at the top of a trend, and you have a compression zone right at 35. I mean, anything can happen on tomorrow's open. I mean, when they start trading gold futures here in about 4 hours, I mean, you could see big sweeps come in and just drive the price down. And that would be one of those things that I would hate to see somebody that says, Shane's bullish, bullish, bullish. And I really am bullish. And we've called this market beautifully. But am I bullish from 34.75? Nah. If you want to scalp 34.69, take a few bucks off of that. I don't think you take a position from 34.69, though. You should have already had your positions in. We covered it over and over and over and over again. That was where we needed our positions in from. So something like that. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead. Let me see, Bobby Bob. Welcome back. New month, new week, new opportunity. I think that the positivity is exactly where our headspace needs to be. We need to be there. This is going to be probably my last week for a while, though. We're going to go ahead and do the live streams this week. If you guys don't have any other questions, we'll probably just sign off right now. We're going to look at silver here in just a second, but that's probably going to be a wrap. The big thing that I would say for the next couple of weeks, I'm actually going to be out of the office. We're going to do a live stream next Monday, and then I'm hitting the road. Going to the airport, I guess. And we're going to be doing a little bit of flying. We're going to do a little bit of travel, so I'm going to be on the road probably for another week or so next week. But I will be back, and don't forget about me. No, I'll be back, guys. You want to be in the saddle. You want to really be trading hard this time of year. That's what you want to do. And sometimes it's really difficult for us as traders to sort of, I know I'm using a lot of puns, but like rein the horses in. You got to be patient. And what we can do as traders, as retail traders, that the institutional traders can't do, is we can actually just wait. You're not working at a trading desk at JP Morgan. You're not working at a trading desk at Citibank. You don't have to trade. And days like today, we made the crossover video 3 times. You shouldn't trade crossovers. Today is one of them. You don't trade during holidays. It's a bad idea. So if you're trading today and you made a few bucks, you're a better person than me, a better trader than me, I guess. But you got to wait. You got to learn to wait. And I know it's hard, guys. I know it's hard. You want to trade and you want to make money and you want to feel like you're working, and I get it. But you can make more money in just a couple of hours when it's time to trade than sitting there all summer long. Be smart. Be smart. That's what it's all about. It's just be smart. Treat your money with respect. Treat your time with respect. Don't just go in there blazing and goes, oh, I got cleaned out on Labor Day. And I go, how'd you lose on Labor Day? You should have been out watching the parade, getting your cowboy hat, growing out the beard. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Just play the game on your terms. Don't just jump in there because, oh, I got to trade. You don't have to trade. Just wait. It will work. Let me see. Tina, so there will be no streaming from next week. I'm going to stream Monday, Tina. We're going to go live Monday, and then I'm going to be in Europe. So we're going to go ahead, and I will be back. Gosh, I don't know when I'm going to book the next stream. Probably the following Wednesday, something like that. Yeah. So it'll be the following. Let's see, supposedly if all the flights and everything goes okay, then I'll be back. Let's see, a week from Tuesday night here in Montana. So we would be doing the mid-session brief on Wednesday potentially. That's what I'm planning on. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, definitely. But no, there will be streaming. I'm not going anywhere. You guys couldn't get rid of me if you tried, Tina. All right, everybody, if there's no other questions or markets, honestly, I mean, we can look at silver real quick just because we did hit the 40 threshold. But as far as ideas and trade ideas and things, it's irresponsible to even suggest any levels today. We pointed out a few pretty good ones, but this right here is your break. You know, when a lot of folks talk about this, they say, what about 40, Shane? Your key levels, your key levels, your key levels. And I go, key levels are everything. This is not an accident. 4-hour chart, silver. What happened at 40? Compression, compression, break. Compression, compression, break. That is it. That's trading. Why was there compression here and no compression here? It's because there's no key level. The key levels are here. The orders are already in the system. You know, I hear a lot about smart money concepts and a lot of folks that, oh, smart money this, smart money that. No, the key levels dictate everything. So what you saw here was either profit taking from some of the big dogs or retail compression. There's no question about it. That's where the action was. That's where the volume was. The key levels dictate volume. It's not the other way around. Volume doesn't dictate anything. Volume consolidates where markets need to be because the idea behind price discovery is just fair value. It's like, okay, I have $1 and you have an apple. How much do I want to pay for the apple? Well, I don't want to spend my whole dollar. Well, how much of the dollar do you want to spend? Maybe it takes more than $1 to buy the apple. And so the market moves this way, right? Well, the key levels are something because people like myself and you, we go down to the market and we say, I'm not paying more than $1 for that apple, period. So where do you think the action comes in that market? At $1. Everybody has an opinion on what the apple's worth at $1. 25 cents? We probably just buy a bunch of apples. We probably don't even eat the apples. We probably go throw them at traffic or something or do something stupid. My bottom line is this. Nobody in the world knew what to do with silver until it got to 40. And then it got to 40, and everybody had an idea. And there's the long players that have been long since 20 and 15 and all that jazz. I get all that. But the way that markets work, and if you guys want to take one thing away from my live streams, if I don't ever do another one, that pattern right there, rally, base, rally. What happened to the rally? Rally, base, rally, rally, base, rally, right out of key level 40? You knew if you broke 40, we were going higher. You knew it. It's not hard. Trading doesn't have to be hard, guys. It doesn't have to be hard. Don't make it hard. Make it easy. Go buy great big cowboy hats like this thing. It is huge. Jeez Louise. I think I can actually get satellite television on it. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. We don't have any questions here, and that's fantastic. This is a holiday. I do appreciate everybody checking in. But yeah, to answer your question, Tina, we will be back. I will be streaming. Don't worry. You'll be able to find me. I'll be around. Dimitri, welcome to Europe. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to having a really nice time down in Greece. I've never been. Being a small-town guy from Montana, you don't even get opportunities to do things like that unless you're in the markets or doing something like we're trying to do here. And so, I'm looking forward to it. I bought a bunch of new clothes. I hope they fit. You don't buy anything off the rack anymore. You have everything delivered to the house. Let me see. Small Yeezy, true statement, risk management, discipline, and watching for the right movement. If you can do those things, you can really do well. Let me see. Yes, sir. I know the markets are dry today, but I have interest now in how to use the Bollinger Bands with the 920. Well, the 920 is interesting. I haven't put much thought in how to incorporate that with Bollinger Bands. The number one thing I would do, yes, sir, if you're going to use Bollinger Bands and the 920, I would take a look at the width of the Bollinger Bands. When they're parallel and they're flat, you probably don't want to trade the 920. When they're wide open and there's action there, then you want to trade the 920. Let me see. Make the most of it. Have a lot of fun. Thank you, Tina. Always so kind, guys. You guys are incredibly kind. We will have a trade idea out. We'll see a little bit later today. I don't want to put out a trade idea if we don't have any, if there isn't an edge for us there. I don't want to do that. I would rather wait till tomorrow. But we are going to have the newsletter out, and we're going to target some key markets that a lot of you are looking at. The euro is definitely under the microscope right now. We're going to preview NFP. We're going to get you all locked and loaded, and I'll have the picks of the week up probably for early tomorrow's session. So if you're in London, then you're going to have an opportunity to see those probably before you start trading. All right, everybody. Well, I want to thank you very much. It's Labor Day. It's Labor Day here in the United States. If you're in the U.S., you have a fantastic holiday. If you're in Europe or in England, you have a fantastic holiday as well. And as always, guys, trade the action well, and we will talk soon. I'll see you.